Where's the socks at? Did I grab those? I thought I did. Ah. There we go. It's like fudge, dude. How's everybody doing? Oh, gosh. Oy. Are we doing good? It's alright, buddy. This one's got a little extra dirt on it. Bleach would be more likely to get it out, but we'll use a little more of that. Mix it with the other clothes too. There we go. Let that sit and rinse off a little bit. This one I don't think was that dirty to begin with. And again, it can even honestly be a little bit wet at the end of the day because that one. Oh, my back. Because this one. I don't think it was that dirty to begin with. Oh, it goes because it goes in the it's more of an exoskeleton. It's a vest. So if it's a little bit wet, it won't be touching my bare skin at least. In the cold. In the cold. We got some vegetables. Try to make a quick dinner tonight. So, this one will touch my bare skin. So I do want to get most of that out, sweat from the gym and everything. And there's some stain. There's some stain on it that is probably not going to come out without bleach, but that's not the end of the world, is it? This one, we'll still rub it with soap. This one's mostly clean, I think. I was using it with the new boots. I want to keep the new boots clean, so I might not wash it as strenuously as I do the other clothes. I still want to wash it strenuously enough to keep the new boots clean. The boots came free when I got a job offer from another company, and during training I eventually did not get the job, but I got to keep the boots. I stayed long enough to be able to get those. I see a viewer. What's that? Oh, do I got a comment that says hi? If you want to shout out, just say what your name is, because with my dyslexia and it being that far from me, it's hard to see it to begin with. Thankfully, I still have my contacts on, but just say what your name is in the chat. I'll give you a shout out. I just need spaces between the names. That's the biggest thing with my dyslexia. What is that? Fudge. Oh, my eyesight's so bad. Let me see. Osmo. What's up, Osmo? Yeah, I just need spaces. I can read your full name. It's just harder to read at a glance. If it's like, because YouTube changed the usernames to the @ whatever, and now I have like this giant consortium of letters to read instead of this space that. It makes it much more difficult. What's up, guys? Well, let me read your name too. Wasani, what's up? You play any? I do. I've been playing a mobile game, but I almost exclusively up though. The graphics are way better on the laptop too. And then you can hook the laptop up to the TV if you want with HDMI. Looks way better. Let me put the first sock in front of the fan to dry. I'll give another whiff, make sure it smells like soap, not like sock, and it smells fine. What you guys up to? Oh, let me read what you said. Oh, I got some soap on me. Let's see. Good? Yeah, I want to get the new Mortal Kombat collection because, like, I love the old school Mortal Kombat games. And Mortal Kombat collection, dude, I want that so bad. The old Mortal Kombat games are just so flipping cool. I grew up with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the SNES, the SNES version, and I want to play the Game Boy versions. And the Game Boy Advance, I'm not as interested in, but I still play it. Let me put a little bit of detergent on that sock. That one has a good bit of dirt on it. I think it's the one I already put some more on. Yeah, really, that's not going to do much without the bleach, I think. That one's pretty dirty with the old shoe. I was using it with the old shoes, which I'm going to eventually replace. I might upcycle them, but I'd probably throw them away because I just don't have room as an artist. But do you play? Oh, what game is it? No, I don't play Roblox. I played it like one time with my niece and nephew. I'm not opposed to playing it. I don't really have time for that kind of stuff anymore. I'm so busy. But no, I'd play Roblox maybe, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really play it. It's not really my thing. But like, I can see the appeal, and I would, if I was chilling, especially if I was comfortable. You got a good comforter, a good sofa. Me the game, maybe a fuzzy blanket, a hot cup of tea, maybe, or some coffee, and maybe my wife laying there like next to my side or something. Like I could see myself get into it. Or if I had like one of my nephews with me, laying next to me or sitting next to me and playing with me, I would definitely play with them. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to like children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, like it's just at that point, it's not even about the game so much. I mean, it's not like it's not about the game, but at the end of the day, it's like just spending time with family is just good too. Just having that chance to be with loved ones, especially when they're younger, is just so valuable. Ooh, let me see. What does it say? You love tea? Yeah. I love tea too. I just haven't had it. My mother drinks it a good bit. I haven't really had a chance to. I mostly drink coffee to wake up. Tea will wake you up too, but coffee really seems to do it for me. I'm more used to coffee. I've been drinking coffee since I was like 12. I didn't really drink a whole lot of tea until I was like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know if I drank a lot of tea until I was like 18, 19. I think that's when I started, really. But I do love it. Oh, and there's so many different kinds of tea. Some teas are not as good for you. I had one tea that had strong psychoactive effects that was not good, and it's not good for that one. Was not good for your liver. But like green tea, I like a lot. I do like green tea a lot. As far as I know, green tea, it's not like great for you, but it's not as bad for your health. And they got like other herbal teas that are like that I would definitely try in different flavors. I think they even do that with the green teas. There's all kinds of good teas. I love tea. I was having a chance really to sit down, relax with a cuppa, and I'm hoping if I can get a better job, I'm hoping eventually to get a remote job if I get enough experience to where I can just go back to my house in the Philippines or buy a new house in West Virginia and just have a cuppa, be with family, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, as a married man, we often don't have that as an option as much. Because we gotta pay them bills and prepare for our future, whether it's education, or going to a trade school kind of thing, maybe even. college, university. I finished university for, I think I'm not going to go back for another 10 years because I got my master's. Doctorate, I could get paid like twice as much at the university level, so it's not like it's something I shouldn't aim for, but I might give it a little time. I'll be right back. I'm putting my seat over here. Holy. I don't know if it's all going to dry by tomorrow because I got so much. The pants, I don't know how I'm going to dry them, but I used to hang them up, but they take so blooming long to dry. Green tea is the best. Well, I'd say in most cases, I think I would probably just have some green tea. Saying it's the best, I feel like that's a really strong statement to make. But I can see why you might say that. That's like here's my exoskeleton. It doesn't even need to go on the fan because if it doesn't dry all the way, it's not the end of the world. And this one doesn't need to be dried too. So I'm going to put this aside for a second in the tub. Oh, I love coffee. I mean, it depends. Like, for a while I didn't like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And then as time went on, that smells good. I think. Actually, I could probably put a little bit more. I think I still detect some sweat. No, but like Dunkin' Donuts, I didn't like it at first. My friend liked it, and he would have me take it out. And he's like, well, "You want one?" I say, "Well," and he doesn't he sometimes does. He doesn't always give me money for gas, which he doesn't have to. He's my friend, but I figures like, well, if he's going to offer me coffee, and I'm the one taking him out, and I'm the one, driving them there and all that. Like, I'm not going to say no. And I do want to wake up or whatever the case, or feel better, or whatever the case may be. And I started getting it. At first, I had a hard time finishing the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. But I eventually acquired the taste, and I started liking it. I think the same thing would probably be the same about Starbucks. I'm not a big... What's your favorite brand? Like, Starbucks really isn't my favorite brand, but again, I'm just not as used to it. It's more expensive. And, I come from a poor background, so it's like... Yeah, like... Again, it's an acquired taste. Kind of like my wife. Like, she likes Kenny Lau. Now, I've had it before. Like, I don't say no to that stuff, but, like, it's not, like, my favorite food. Now, if she was making me Kenny Lau, like, 3 times or 4 times a week, I'd probably get an acquired taste to where I'd be like, I love Kenny Lau now. First time I met her in person, she made me some Kenny Lau's sister. And possibly her mother. You do like Starbucks? Yeah, no shade. I just... I like this, like with Starbucks, I like their sandwiches. Like my favorite coffee, I would say, is like either Wawa or like Wawa I like a lot. 7-Eleven I like too. I'm not like as big of a fan of it. But I mostly just make my own coffee. And it's pretty good. I'm drinking a lot of Folgers right now. I like Folgers. But honestly, again, like acquired taste and all. So like I'm not like unwilling to try a coffee that I don't like as much, and I might acquire the taste with time. But I think I usually will with foods, and with food I think I usually will eventually come around. I'm pretty easy to get along with. I'm a pretty easy guest to serve because like as long as it's kosher, I'll eat it. And there was a time where even kosher I would just ignore that, but I'm making effort to live a kosher lifestyle. I'm not asking people to have a whole kosher kitchen. Like if it just merely grazed some ham, I'll probably still eat it. But I'm trying to live a kosher lifestyle. It's really sad too, because like, there's one of the Muslims I work with. She's one of those Muslims who I think doesn't even think that you should even talk to Jews, and this is really sad. Because I was talking to her today, like I got a new 3D printer, so I was like, "Hey, if I printed out an Al-Aqsa masjid, like a little figurine, like would you want it?" She wouldn't talk. She won't talk to me. She'll say thank you and stuff. She'll smile at me, but her hijab, I'm like really nice to her, but like I think like for my interaction with her, like I think it's best to just continue to be. I think it's good to continue to be nice to her, but I don't think she will break her silence very much. It was like it took her forever to even say like thank you and like little things, like even under her breath, like seemingly almost. She will not. Her saying hi to me or whatever. It's like, well. And instead of getting all up in arms, like, why are you going to be racist against me? I'm not prejudiced against you, or at least not in my actions, right? And it's like, well, at the end of the day, it's like, they're going to harbor that prejudice. People are always going to harbor prejudice against you, no matter what race or ethnicity you come from. At the end of the day, like, I think trying, and you don't always make it work this way, but like trying to be graceful with it, easier said than done. But like, you try to just be like, you know what, I want to be the better person. I want to serve my rabbi, my Lord, and I want to do the right thing. If you're not doing the right thing, I should not stoop to your level and also commit the same sin. Easier said than done, but it's like that's what I think that's like kind of like the aim for me. It's like do the right thing even if other people do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I can walk. Oh, you walk to Starbucks? Oh, to 7-Eleven. Oh, there's a 7-Eleven nearby. Oh. God, my back's hurting me so much. Oh. I like 7-Eleven. Let me just make sure it smells clean. Okay, I'm making sure that smelled like the soap and not like the mothballs. Make sure but if I stepped in the mothballs, it might actually be the mothball smell. There's a lot of mothballs around right now on the floor and stuff. I moved back with family, and it's like, it's one thing that they're toxic, but they also have mothballs are one of those things that have a strong odor, and yeah, there was a complaint about that. So I was like, well, or at least about the strong odor. I'm presuming the mothballs had a role to play with that. It might also be that I go to the gym a lot, and I sweat a lot because of it, I think, or something to do with that. So I'm gonna switch to rinsing myself off at night and in the morning. And I'm just gonna amp the hygiene up as much, like a lot more than I used to. Not just taking one bath a day. We're gonna take 2 baths a day. Not just gonna brush my teeth in the morning. We're gonna brush my teeth in the morning and the night. And we're gonna use a good bit of laundry detergent as well. Gonna amp it up. We're amping it up to 100. Because if somebody ever takes you aside and says that, I'm like, fudge, dude. Like, really? But I do have a feeling the mothballs played a large part of that. Thing is, I can't control the mothballs. But if I can mask the smell of the mothballs, wash the mothball smell out, all that stuff, then, that's something. Boy. As far as I'm concerned, I don't smell bad. I've even asked before, like, do I smell bad? And it's like, no. But I also have a lot of enemies where I work, so I'm assuming somebody that doesn't like me. And maybe it was this they want to get me fired. It just is what it is. And by the way, with like people, actually, you know what it probably was. Looking back on it, I ate like sometimes I eat what I shouldn't eat, and I end up getting really gassy. And like there was probably like 4 days where I was like having a difficult time controlling my toots, and that's probably what it was. I was like, geez, I don't know. My wife is a tiny, tiny, beautiful woman, but if you ever smelled her past gas, holy fudge, you would have no idea. It is not all unicorns, dude. She got like that look like a lot of models have. Man, what comes out of her butt, it does not smell good. It's like, she don't toot that much. I probably toot more than she does, but when she does, like, She does it once in a blue moon. It's like, holy moly, what on earth? And she'll laugh it off. It's like, baby, that is not funny. Like when I toot, you might just like wave the air around your face. When she toots, it's like you gotta leave the room. It's like, ugh, holy moly, what are you eating? I know exactly what she was eating. Rice and fish. That does not come out of the body very well. If most of what you're eating is like rice and fish and maybe some vegetables, I didn't know it smelled. Well, it's also your microbiome too, and she has a healthier microbiome, which is probably influences that. My microbiome is really bad, which means I think if I get sweaty, I get a lot of like you get that like odor of like of the bacteria, because if you're eating the wrong foods, you're feeding these bacteria, and these bacteria produce a lot of gases that can. That's why certain people, like some people will say certain ethnic groups smell bad. A lot of it has to do with what they eat. And personally, like if there's somebody from like a certain ethnic group and they have a certain strong smell, it's like I don't care, dude. Like, dude, I worked at a preschool. I have smelled way worse things than that. It's like I don't care, dude. I don't give a flapjack. This actually does smell strongly of mothballs still. I can smell the mothballs. Fudge, dude. That's probably what it was. Dude. It's like all the mothballs that came into contact with my jeans. I was starting to doubt myself. It's like, I don't stink, do I? I was like, I can't. And it's like, it's the flipping mothballs, dude. I can smell, like the vapors are coming up from the hot water. That's what it flipping is, dude. That's terrible. And I can't control that because I moved back in with family a while ago, and I can't really control that. That's what it is, though. I'm not like 110% sure that's like the majority of it, but I'm pretty sure that is, it might be the majority of it, honestly. Because like this happened recently. Like I've been there for 2 years, and like mothballs start getting thrown around the house, and all of a sudden I get taken aside. Now I haven't tooted like I did, I don't think, in 2 years, so the tooting could have played a role in that. But I think that was part of it. I mean, when you get sick, you get sick. But yeah, this was definitely part of it. I'm pretty sure. That's what sucks, though, man. Like I'm planning on moving back out again, but it's like, dude, what the fudge? There's only so much you can do. That's actually why I got the vent on, is to get that mothball. Because what you're smelling when you smell mothballs, it's actually toxic insecticides. That's what you're literally smelling. That's why you're not supposed to have a lot of it out. No, I usually do this stuff off camera, but I need to get those. I need to do more streaming. Honestly, I haven't been streaming this much, so it's like, yeah, you might as well just go on through my life again. And I'm glad to have you guys for the ride. And I will read your comments. For the most part, I might miss one once in a while. Once in a while, you get like a lot of viewers and you get a lot of comments, and you might miss a comment or two. Or someone's just like, sometimes I'll get like. There will be racists that I will get. Like, I'm not exaggerating. There will be people like one. I started streaming and I was talking. I think it was something about, I don't know if it was about pedagogy or education or psychology, but it was a topic relative to my learning. I have a master's degree, I have a bachelor's degree, I have an associate's degree. I have multiple certifications and honors. So of course, I was talking about something with relative depth that a lot of my younger viewers might not be as familiar with, but a lot of my older viewers might have some familiarity with. And like the first comment I think I got on that stream was Jew. Someone just typed in Jew. It's like, okay. It's like, yeah, I'm Jewish. It's like, you're Hispanic, you're black, you're whatever. Like, can't we get past all the blooming racism? It gets on my nerves. It's like, no, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, sure, I can understand why some people might harbor certain feelings from experience, but like, I also understand why people can work through those feelings by using common sense. It's like, one person hurts you, one person happened to say a woman. there are, well, how many millions of women in the world? Like, and one woman hurts you, you think they're all bad? Like there, you can utilize your ability to understand logic and reason to get past the ape mentality and not think that every person of a certain group is bad because you had one or two or three or 10 bad experiences. You know, even 10 sounds like a big number, but out of a population, depending on what group we're talking about, whether it's 50,000 or 10 million or 2 billion or whatever, when you have these massive population size, maybe it's just the representatives of the group that you are personally meeting. And you might be only getting a limited example. For example, when it comes to Jews, there are black Jews, there are white Jews, there are Indian Jews, there are Jews, because what makes a Jew is what makes a seed of Israel is being a descendant of the man named Israel. And if you are of that lineage, you are of a seed of Israel. And we were scattered across the world. And some of us took foreign spouses. And then over time, we looked more and more like the native population. That's just basic genomics, basic genetics. You know, but we still kept our ancestral lineage. You know, you typically didn't have, from my understanding, two people of the native land just convert and join the community. I think it was typically one person converted when they married in. So you preserve that lineage. And even if two people did convert, which would probably be very rare in many situations, if not all, most, you know, then their children or their children's children would marry people who were genetic descendants. And you preserve that genetic line. All the way back to Israel, all the way back to Abraham, all the way back, and you know what I mean? So, people don't understand how genetics work. It's like, people really don't understand how genetics work. Like, it's not all what people look like. The quote unquote black people in like East Asia, they are not African. They are more closely they're more closely genetically related to the other East Asians. It's a case of convergent evolution. When two things develop in a species, or in a language, you know, depending what kind of evolution we're talking about, but when two things develop through evolution in similar environments, whether it's words or whether it's biological life like humans, similar traits emerge from similar environments sometimes. So like the thick hair and the darker skin, sure, they look a lot like African black people, but they're very distant relatives. They develop those traits independently from one another. And like, you look at a lot of Americans who have darker skin. A lot, like, I would say the vast majority, well, maybe since immigration happened recently, but like in the past, the majority that you would see are part white. Just like a lot of white people that look 100% white are part black. It's very common. You know, in America, there were a lot of people that came together and had babies, and you know, you still have that ancestral connection. And I think it's kind of a beautiful thing to see how many people in America, despite our cultural differences and even our differences in looks, we still came together, fell in love, and had babies. I think that's a beautiful thing. A lot of the racists hate that thing. Let me see. Oh, no more comments. I think it's a beautiful thing, though. Oh, fudge. Why is it wet? Oh, that's not good. I just got the counter wet. I guess it's time to eat. What time is it? Really? I'm planning to get to bed around 1. It might be like 1:20, though, that I end up going to sleep. Okay. I'm tempted. I gotta take my contacts out, too. I'm tempted to try some of that salad, because normally I would leave that for Mom, but I might even ask her if she wants to finish that. When I moved back in here years ago to start pursuing my degrees, I started pursuing my degrees and stuff. I moved back in here a while ago, and I started getting my life together shortly thereafter. And now it's time to move out again pretty soon. But for a little while, we had like 5 people living here at once. So many people. It is not that big a place either, but now it's, my brother just left back for the military again. He'll be back, but I don't know how long he'll be deployed. And then my sister, she inherited a house. She will not be back. And for a while, I was convinced that I should probably stay here for a while because of just my ability to help with bills. But I'm starting to realize it's like, no, I gotta move out again. I gotta be a big boy and get on with my life, because that's what the natural course is. It's like, sure, it's like, yeah, you feel bad for certain family members who are financially struggling. And it's like, well, if I live with them, it's a mutual beneficial. Sure, but eventually you just got to say, I got to go again. Like, it's been too much, too long. We got to part our ways. Now, it might be some months before I finish moving everything into storage and then find a place, and I got to get another job that pays us a little bit more so I can make enough money. But, so it might be like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I don't know. But I'm in the process of it. I'm getting things into storage. I'm organizing my things. And I was looking to see like what the available, like what the market was like. And there are affordable places not that far from where I live that I could get. And with like another $1,000 a month or even less than that, I could afford it. And it's like, that's not bad. My wife does not want to get a job. She insists on being a housewife, so I'm not going to get extra income that way, but that's okay. That's okay. It's her choice. At first I was against it, being raised. There were 2 women who insisted on being on certain values. At least the one was super into when women should really exert themselves. It seemed was her idea. Go to college, job, and what was amazing about her, what I really loved about her mentality, was she still was and dust, wipe down things and clean up the cat pee and the dog pee and the cat poop and the dog poop, take the dogs out for a walk, buy the animals treats, do things at the church or whatever. She was doing it all. And she seemed to have this air of, a woman should do all the things, or not all the things, but a woman should do a lot of the things that will help her be successful financially, but also do the things that are traditionally considered feminine. She did both. She had 2 jobs, and she was keeping the house spotless with multiple animals, mind you, and practicing piano, and practicing her singing voice, and practicing in the choir at church, and or piano, depending on the day, I think. And she's doing all this on top of contacting the priest, family members, friends. She's doing all of this. And it's that seems to be the kind of model that she wanted. I don't think she expects other women to be quite on her level, because 2 jobs plus all the other stuff, that's a lot. Washing the dishes and cooking the meals, everything. That's a pretty high standard, high bar to set. I don't think she expected other women to be exactly on her level, but I think she expected women to be to exert themselves, even if it wasn't quite as good as she could do it, which is amazing, because an elderly woman doing all this, it blows my mind. Looking back on it, it's wow, how did she do all that? And she had to drive almost an hour to work and almost an hour home from her primary job, not her second job. Her second job, it might have been more than that, it might have been less. Actually, it might have been an hour and a half, the other one, but she wasn't working that one every day, obviously. And I was dude, I don't think she had, she was getting 4 hours of sleep. She was constantly on the move. I don't think she expected other women to be quite on that level, or even other men, but I think she did set the bar really high, and I think she expected people to at least try to meet her halfway. And she's my hero. I went to college because of her. I did, and I ended up getting 3 degrees. I did that because of her. I wish she had seen me graduate with my master's degree. I wish, me and my wife haven't had kids yet. I wish she could see her grandchildren. Her great-grandchildren. I wish. I miss her so dearly. I wish she had just lived for another 10 or 15 years. There's so many things I wanted to show her. I miss her terribly.
I don't. I'm trying. I'm feeling it right now. I'm not tearing up like I was like earlier on. I probably could if I thought about it enough, but I miss her terribly. But see, like with my wife not wanting to get a job, it's like that's the woman I look up to, my grandma. Like that's my hero, man. And it's like, I know she had plenty faults. So did the rest of us. I'm not saying she was perfect, but she was amazing. And like that's the standard for me. That's not like what I expect my wife to get there all the way, but like I was like hoping she'd like get there halfway. But like looking back on it, it's like her bar was so high. Even meeting her halfway is pretty hard. So like I'm not pushing it anymore. I'm like, yeah, I gotta lower the standard because like grandma had it so high that I don't think many people meet that standard. Like she was just determined to be super person, basically, and she still is to me. She's my superhero, honestly. I miss her terribly. I do. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she survived in 4 hours of sleep a night. I don't know how she did everything she did, but she did. And she did it for like 30 some years of my life. And it's like, holy fudge, dude. I don't know if I can expect myself. I can't hold myself to that standards, let alone my wife. You know what I mean? So like I have to remind, but I still try to meet. I want to meet her halfway though, in my own personal goals. Speaking of which, let me go get some things done. Yeah, I don't think I will never be able to do as much as she does, but I definitely want to do more than I do now, so that I can at least meet her halfway and all the things that she did. That's my hero for sure. And my grandmother, yeah. Again, she wasn't perfect. I mean, when people are like, oh, hold on one sec. When people are like, oh, it's like when a lot of people like to point out, well, like nobody's perfect. Well, yeah, nobody is perfect. Oh, fudge. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. But yeah, who's expecting them to be perfect? Like I feel like that's like unfair too. It's like if you hold anybody in your life, and your standard is perfection, it's like that's an unfair standard. That is an unfair standard to set somebody to. That's not fair to set somebody to say, oh, they got to be perfect or I can't love them. Like, well, then you'll always be you will never be able to love somebody if that's your standard. It's like with me and my wife. One of the things I've tried, I think I've tried to communicate, and I think more than once, is like, it's like, baby, I'm not perfect. And I don't know if I've conveyed this right, but I think what I was trying to communicate is like, yeah, I'm not perfect, and neither are you. So it's like, there's no reason for either of us to, well, I don't know if I communicated this latter part, but like at the end of the day, I think we have to take a moment back sometimes and just say, yeah, neither of us are perfect. Let's just be happy. And let's try to do better, but let's be happy. You know what I mean? I mean, isn't that a fair place to stand? We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect in the relationship. Let's be happy. Now, a lot of people will not give up. They'll be like, well, but you did this, you did this. Well, it's like, well, you also did this and this and this. That's also terrible. Let's just realize that we're both flawed human beings and just try to love each other for the good and the bad. And when there's areas where compromise can't be made, let's find another way to compromise around the potential. Let's try to find a unique solution that might also serve as a compromise, but might not be the one. It might be kind of like compromising with a compromise. It's like it might be a hat on a hat. But at the end of the day, we can sometimes in life find ways around some of the worst or some of the biggest challenges we have. And I think one of the biggest things that we need to realize about one another is whether we meet that high standard or we're lower down or wherever we are, let's just try to be like, let's just remember that we're all human and we all are at different stages of our journey. Some of us in some ways get to certain aspects faster than others. That doesn't mean that that like shame has to be thrown out the window entirely, or that we can never like say like yeah this like if someone's doing heroin, it's not like we can never try to like yeah that's bad, don't do that, that's really bad. Like there are some big things that like we might want to be like yeah that's something that we got to figure out how to address because that's really like the big things sure. Hard drugs, cheating, murder, we might want to address those things. But like the little things, it's like if you hold on to every little thing for perpetuity, I just don't know. And like constantly throughout the day, it's like you're gonna be miserable. And I've definitely been there. I've made that mistake. There's one thing right now that's really bugging me, and I can't think about it too much because it upsets me. So it's like, well, until I can fix the situation or address it in some positive way, I'm going to try to put it for most of the time on the back burner until I can solve it or attempt to address it at the very least. That's all you can do, man. Make some effort. Oh, I didn't wash the dishes. I waited too long. Yeah, we'll do the dishes later. I'm going to put you in the fridge. I'm going to let that rinse out, though, because I don't know if I got any dirt in it. But, yeah. Some things we can just put on the side, and we'll figure it out. Oh, there's my new socks. I'm glad I washed the socks, but I got some more diabetic socks. They're a little bit more expensive. They're at the Dollar Tree. A little more expensive because you're not buying in bulk than some of the other brands you could get. But, man, they make my feet soft. I feel like feet are one part of the body that I prefer to have my feet soft. I don't want to have hard, crusty feet. Not saying I never have that. I have. But if something makes them something makes them soft, yeah. That's one area that I put a lot of hygiene into is my feet. It's one of those areas too that like if you don't put a lot of like effort into like washing your feet and like doing your nails, like whether it's like like I noticed one of my nails was cracked, so I did a little bit of what do you call it? I did a little filing down, and it's like it's like I gotta take care of my feet. I want my feet and my hands. I gotta work on more. I've noticed I've been neglecting my hands. Yeah, not as bad as they were, but I got all this like dead skin. I gotta do something with my hands. People see my hands more than they see my feet, so I really gotta take better care of my hands too. All this like dead skin and stuff. I was going to buy some lotion. Maybe I'll put some lotion on later. Or maybe I'll do that tomorrow before I go out. I don't know if I want to do that before I go to bed. But, yeah, the lotion probably help. And I'm making dinner now. I'm thinking, well, actually, fudge, I didn't buy any bread. I should put those in there. She said I'm welcome to anything. And these are going to go bad pretty soon if we don't eat them. They're not in the fridge either. I might as well have one. If she brings up anything, because she's the one that bought them, I think, or maybe my brother did before he went back into military training. But oh fudge! Wait, this shirt might have touched the mothballs. Here, gotta rinse that cup out now. Fudge. There's so many mothballs, and they're not just in one spot, though. On the floor, on the sofa. I'm like, dude, and they're toxic. So, them touching my shirt, I'm like, fudge, dude. I'm not like afraid, but like I'm not trying to intentionally ingest insecticide. It's like if it happens, it happens. And I'm already breathing it in like crazy, but like I'm also not going to go out of my way to breathe in. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things. It's like if it happens, it happens. It's like if you swallow a little bit of mouthwash in the morning, it's like it's like whatever. It's like I'm not going to like make myself vomit or anything. I'm not paranoid of it like killing me. So your liver. Part of the function of your liver anyway, isn't it? But it's like I don't know how I'm gonna do this without it touching me. But at the end of the day, you also don't go out of your way to hurt yourself. It's like sometimes like you might normally have the option of Pepsi, or sorry, Coke or Coke Zero, and you might. But if all they have is Coke, you might just have the Coke. a lot of times just making a little bit of effort to be healthier, even if sometimes you break the rule, I feel like you're still way better off than people who make no effort. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's kind of like, I'm not going to be, you know, I don't, my aim isn't to be perfect when it comes to things like health and this or that. My health isn't to be perfect. My goal isn't to be perfect. My goal is to do better. And I think that's like super important to recognize. Oh man. Yeah, I was a little dehydrated there. I don't have enough time for a bath. It's, probably, well, I can just jump in for a second. Like, I'm going to take another one tomorrow morning anyway, but like I said, I don't know what they were complaining about exactly. I don't know exactly what it was. I'm going to eliminate all possibilities. So, like I said, I'm going to taking 2 baths now a day. My wife, for a while, was taking 3. Some people don't like that. You know, it's everybody's different with that. That just comes down to, like, good old-fashioned attraction. Give me 1 second. I can still talk to y'all, but I'm going to go put this in here. There we go. Get the charge when that thing is. Yeah. I don't want to eat all of this. I'll have to buy her some more. I had a piece. Like I had 2 pieces. I'll just take a tiny piece out, and I'll put a little bit of my canned veggies. With this I don't know if it would taste as good with ketchup. I think mustard would taste better. But I don't think we have any more of the good mustard, or not much more. We have a tiny bit, barely any. We have a little bit of the jarred mustard that nobody's been touching. This is Sweet Hot. Oh, it's hot stuff. Oh yeah, she ain't gonna be touching that anyway. Actually, I can just put the. I think there's enough in there. I might use a little bit of ketchup. I don't want to use a lot of ketchup with red peppers. By the way, look at these. Yummy, yummy. Thank you, Abadonai. They're good. They don't really seem to have a lot of season to them, which is fine. I'm used to them having a little bit more of a little bit more of a pop, but that's fine. It was pretty cheap. It was $1. Oh, hush! I know it's getting late. Let me finish this. Yeah. People pickle them differently. I don't know if this was. They might have just used a little bit of like vinegar or something. Well, it doesn't taste like vinegar. They might have used whatever they used to preserve it. Whatever preserve they used or preserves. I can look at the chemicals. They might have used a lot of chemicals. But it's not the stuff that has the stronger taste. That's fine though. That's fine. It tastes more like the vegetable itself, which is actually kind of charming in its own regard. I kind of like that a good bit. But, I didn't have a chance to go to the. I went to the store, but I didn't get enough food. I got a little bit. I got the canned vegetables. I got a little bit, but there's a couple other things I had gotten to. Where did I put? Oh fudge! I left them in the car. I had gotten some other things too. That stuff's junk food, though. I might as well try to avoid that for now. Not much in terms of the mayonnaise left. Mayonnaise is almost all gone. I've been eating a lot of mayonnaise too, which might. It's funny. People talk about the odors. One of the things I heard them talking about was like how bad, and like this sounded like horrible when I heard it, but they were saying, I don't like that they said that. Like again, like I'm not against different people from different ethnicities eating different food and have different smells, but and by the way, this was like Black Americans saying this, but they were saying that they did not like they were like despised the smell of like Black Africans, and I was like, wow, well, that's kind of messed up. By the way, I dated a Black African for a little, or I went on one date. Yeah, it never came to fruition. It's like, yeah, like dude, like whatever. They smell different. Like, dude, yeah, Yeah, they eat different foods and they have different odor. Now, if they have the odor because they're not bathing, that's different. That's a different kind of stank. But it's like the reason they have that odor, as far as I know, is because they're eating different foods, and it's like, leave these poor people alone. Jeez. It's like, come on now, that's a little bit, that's like a little too mean for me. And some of my favorite customers, or like one of my favorite things to see, dude, I love the people I see that come from Africa. A lot of the cultures over there are just really, really good in terms of how they like act socially. A lot of them have really good social habits that a lot of Americans just don't have. There's like certain people from like certain countries where you're more likely like to be like, I am so glad I got you from this place or that place, because it's like, it's a cultural thing, right? It's like some cultures just raise better humans. That might sound like on the low. America's on the low, unfortunately. And I'm hoping we'll do better. There we go. Might need to be mixed a little bit. It's got a little bit of the oily stuff on the top, but it looks good. That's probably the mustard seed oil, I'm guessing. Actually, there's plenty of this. And she's not going to have the spicy stuff anyway. I don't need ketchup. What does it taste like? It tastes like mustard mostly. Like regular mustard with a little bit of a zing. Not a spicy zing. It doesn't taste spicy at all. That's kind of surprising, but yeah. Or at least not almost none of it. I think I perceive a little bit of spice, but yeah, I'm not really perceiving spice. Yeah, I'm not getting spicy from that. But it says spicy on there, so I know Mom wouldn't need it anyway. She probably said, "Alex, you can have this," and I probably forgot all about it. Would be my guess. Put a little bit of hot sauce on there. Yeah, the mustard is not hot. I got a little bit of hot sauce too when I was out earlier. Hopefully, it'll be okay if I grab another one of these. It's not as fat of a hoagie as I would hope for, but it is such a blessing because it is definitely still something, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful regardless. Yeah, I thought that was so mean when you said that. It's like, jeez. Some of the things I've heard, I probably should have spoken up. I think next time maybe I will speak up about it, because like that's messed up, man. It's like, because like that's what my mom used to explain that to me. Because like, if you have somebody from a different culture who has a strong odor, it's probably because they eat different foods. That's what my mom used to explain. She would like explain like onions, for example, will give you a strong odor. If you're from a culture where you eat a lot of onions, yeah, I've noticed that too. When I eat onions, trust me, I can smell it, and it does not wash out. A little bit, but yeah, if you eat a lot of onions, it comes out of your pores. That stuff, yeah. And I'm assuming it's because it affects your microbiome. I'm assuming it's because of the bacteria. Well, actually, I'm not sure, actually, because I don't think onions, I think they might even be able to use, that's a good question. Maybe I'll ask the internet, because I don't know. It probably has more to do with how it affects your body in other ways, maybe, because I don't think it affects your microbiome in that way. Things like pizza and a lot of all the ultra-processed foods, they do tear up your microbiome. And that's probably one of the reasons why Americans are smellier than like certain people from other countries, because we're eating all this ultra-processed food that's messing up the microorganisms, our micro ecosystems in our bodies, and these microorganisms, they produce gases, and it produces smells. There's certain people from certain cultures, yeah, like America, where you eat all those ultra processed food, Americans do tend to have an odor, and we might not notice it because we grew up around other Americans, but people from like Europe and stuff, there's a good chance they'll notice it. Maybe depending on where in Europe, but that's just the thing. It's like people eat different things; they have different smells. And if it's a smell you've been used to all your life, good chance you won't even notice it. A lot of people don't realize that. That's kind of the thing with accents. A lot of people say, I don't have an accent. It's like, yeah, you do. You're just thinking of it within the context of what you're used to. You're used to your accent. Every human being who talks has an accent. It's impossible to avoid that fact. By the virtue of you speaking, you have an accent. And every state, like even sometimes states, sometimes cities, major geographical areas as well as minor geographical areas, depending on how like the social dynamics are, depending on a lot of things, right? Maybe one or the other or both, but like a lot of variables, a lot of factors go into this. But in terms of the diversity of the dialects, but yeah, everybody has a dialect. Or sorry, accent. Did I say dialect? I meant accent. Dialect's different. Dialects. I mean, we do have different dialects as well. You have like Southern vernacular English, and then you have like subdialects of that, like African American vernacular English, and then you have like Northern American common vernacular English, and you have like standard English, and then you have the Queen's English, and so on and so forth. Like dialects, yeah, that's common. But, as far as accents go, everybody has a blooming accent just by the virtue of talking. I'm gonna get to bed. I'm gonna eat first. Oh, I didn't bring my incense back. Fudge, I got nothing to light. It's all in storage, isn't it? Oy. Oh, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam aseh ma'aseh barashit. Baruch atah Yeshua HaMashiach melech hamelechim ve'emet haolam. Thank you, Abba Adonai, for this meal. Thank you for providing everything this day. Please lead us away from temptation. Please lead us away from the evil one. Please lead us onto your path, the path of those whom are on their way to eternal salvation. Please forgive me of the crimes I've committed against you, and please help me and others to forgive those who commit crimes against us. Thank you this day and for all days, Abba Adonai. Thank you for not only providing us what we need, but also oftentimes, maybe all the time, also what we want. Thank you, Abba Adonai, for all the blessings, even when they do not seem as blessings, Abba Adonai. Thank you for everything that you give us, and thank you for this meal. Please forgive me for all of my sins, and please help me to forgive the sins of others. Please help me to have a greater heart of forgiveness, and a greater love in the way that you want me to love. Please help me to stay away from the lust of others outside of my wife, and please help me to stay away from the temptation of gossip and the temptation of problematic speech that goes against your will. With that, Abba Adonai, I ask that your will be accomplished in Haaretz as it is in Hashemayim. In the name of your beloved Son, Rabbi Yehoshua HaMashiach. Amen. Glad you guys are still with me. A lot of people leave when I pray. I need a napkin, but that's good. I need napkins more these days. My blooming mustache keeps getting caught in my mouth, and I don't want to bite my beard off. It's definitely happened before. I'm gonna get some more water. My blood has to be good tomorrow. A little bit of mustard fell out. I'm gonna take this little piece of bread, scoop up that mustard. I don't want to waste it. That's good. What time is it? Okay. It's not too late yet. Whoops. That's good. I taste mostly like regular mustard, but there's a little bit of flair to it. And regular mustard doesn't taste bad anyway. It tastes a little bit different too. Aside from the flair. Yeah, the red pepper tastes good too. And there's so much bread. There's so little meat in the hoagie. I don't really taste the turkey, but that's okay. She said I'm welcome to the food, but I don't want to take all her turkey. In fact, I'll probably buy some more for her since I think I've had 3 pieces so far. Maybe I should get like 6 pieces, double it. She'll often buy food and she won't touch it, and it'll be in there so long it'll go bad. So if I just eat some of it and replace it, that might be for the best. Sometimes people, when they don't have much, they will, I think, avoid the good stuff they get for as long as possible. Like, I want to be able to have that in the future. But then they'll keep it so long, when it comes to food, it eventually goes bad, and then you don't have any of it. And I think that's silly, but I also understand the mentality behind it. It's like, if you don't usually get good food, and you get some good food, you want to save it for as long as possible. I'll get that treat in the future, but then it goes bad, and you don't get to have the treat at all. And then it's wasted. I think Rabbi Yeshua said something like, tomorrow has enough to worry about. Or tomorrow can worry about itself. I think it's something like that. I think the translations vary too, but I think he said something like, basically like, I think when he was communicating, well, I don't want to speculate too much when he was communicating, but it seems like there should be focus on what we do today. Tomorrow isn't promised. I fail on that because I do fantasize with the future sometimes, but I make plans that I don't know if they'll ever happen or not, and a lot of times they don't. It's good to focus on the day. It is good. There's a lot of what ifs too. What if I get fired? What if I get promoted? What if I get a new job? What if I don't? What if I do this? What if I get an A on this test? What if I get an F? And it's like, what else can we do but give it our all? Because we just don't know. If we make the effort, what else is asked of us? You know what I mean? What else is the expectation but doing our best? Or at least making a significant effort in what we're doing. It's not always a competition either. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. Some people will be better at us in some ways. There are people who know a lot about nuclear science. I don't really know much about nuclear science, but I know way more about pedagogy and education than the average nuclear scientist probably knows, right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses. That's why we need each other. There are not enough hours in a day for us to learn all the things that would make us an expert in everything. There's not enough understanding. There's not enough in our ability for us to understand everything, know everything, comprehend everything, face it on a deeper level, on a more direct, thoughtless, direct experience kind of level, even, like there's like those kinds of things and other things, right? Those like very intimate direct experiences that we can have with the world, and thought experiences, and in a variety of ways of comprehending the world around us. We're so limited. I'm in this little trailer in this little park, in this surrounded by trees and some roads and some buildings, and this little city and this little county and this little country. Now, even our planet, there are more stars in the observable universe than there are grains of sand in the entire planet of the planet Earth. That's a lot of stars in the observable universe alone. We don't even know what extends beyond the unobservable universe, because it's moving away from us so fast. It's going faster than the speed of light, and if it's going faster than the speed of light, then there's nothing that light can hit, like a camera lens or our eyes, because it's that all that light matter, everything is moving away from us in the unobservable part of the universe so fast it's moving away from us that we can't observe any of it because even the light is moving away from us so fast. Meaning, and we see with light. So if the light is moving away from us that faster than it would travel to us, or if it's moving away from us instead of towards us, rather, we can't see it. We can't see it. We can't see what we can't without light. And if the light's moving away from us faster than it would, or if it's moving away from us, we can't see it. It's that simple. And so we don't even know how much is out there. But from what we can observe, we know how small the Earth is. So, like, our ability to observe the universe around us, even by Earth standards, let alone by a universal standard, is so limited in what we're able to comprehend in our entire lifetimes, even. And yet, we still insist on having big egos sometimes, as if we know everything. Yes, we don't. That last piece. At least within this lifetime, I think even if we can merge with AI, I think within our lifetimes, at least before we cross the veil, I think there will always be more, far more incomprehensible amounts of more of what we do not know in contrast to what we can possibly know. And then not enough hours in the day, not enough years in the life. And that's kind of beautiful too. Our innocence in terms of the world around us, in comparison to what there really is kind of adorable in a sense. It's kind of sweet and beautiful. You know? The innocence of the human being is kind of something kind of special in a way in my mind. You know, I don't think it's necessarily something to think of as evil or something. It's something that makes us kind of unique because all of us face that, but we also have different sources of information and knowledge. And even if we live like within literal feet of one another, like the trailer next door is like only like 12 feet away from me. They might even be able to hear some of what I'm saying right now with the thinness of the walls and how close they are. That's how close they are. And yet I know tons about like pedagogy and education. They don't know that stuff. And I can teach that stuff. I have a degree that I can teach that stuff in a college or university. They can't do that. Now they might have their own unique things. Maybe it's HVAC or something. You know? And I don't know that stuff very much. Practically not at all. And you know, it's like, and yeah, I can't do the stuff that they can do, right? Potentially. I don't know them that well. Unfortunately, at least one of them stole from us once, so I'm not really looking forward to getting to know them. But I'm just saying, like, there's a good chance that they know a lot of things that I don't know, too. You know, it goes both ways, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah. It's fascinating. Like, we're all so vulnerable, and yet we all have, yeah, it's like, it's for us, human beings are dependent on one another because we all need one another because largely a big part of it is because of that severe lack of knowledge that all of us have. And it's just fascinating because you can literally live, like my mother lived, like she's in the other room, like 3 feet away or less? Or no, oh, okay, maybe 12, or 6 foot, I'm 6 foot. So I guess 12 feet. Yeah, I get about the room there. Like 15 feet away, something like that. 18. I'll say 18 feet away, maybe. And that trailer, 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe they're like 20 feet away. I mean, even so. Very close. Not, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, literally, they could be living like they could literally be sleeping in the same room as you. And you might spend hours with that person every day, and and you might learn things in your time in your time that they never learn, and have experiences that they never experienced. It's amazing how close you can be to other human beings, and you might be experiencing a lot of the same things, and yet you can learn things, so many things that the other person doesn't learn, and vice versa. Like that's kind of astonishing if you think about it, how that really works. You know what I mean? Like how is that even possible? And yet it is. And I think part of it is because one of the fascinating things about life is all you have to do is pay a lot of attention, or maybe not even a lot, but like a good bit of attention to a small portion of your space. Whether it's in a book, a tiny little book, or whether it's on something on the laptop, or if you're meditating, say you walk in a back alleyway, and say another person walks there too. And say that's what you guys do every day. You walk back and forth in this alleyway. Well, if you have a meditative mindset and you're really focused on certain elements of that alleyway and that experience, you might gather information that the other person walking back and forth the same alleyway never gets. They might not recognize certain aspects and gain certain revelations that you might on your reflections, if you have a different kind of mindset and if you're focused on different things. And if you have a different kind of internal structure where you're like, you both have the same alleyway, but you're addressing it from an internal point of view in very different ways. Your emotions, or your maybe something even more profound than that, but like your internal mechanism is functioning very differently from them, and you're getting a very different experience, and you might be able to utilize that experience in a way the other person can't. Even, you know what I mean? It's amazing. It's amazing when you think about people having very similar experiences throughout much of the day, and very close to one another, often going through the same pathways, and yet one person learns all about, let's say, a certain form of chemistry, and can produce amazing things in their few hours at home, and the other person doesn't learn that at all. It's amazing how close we can be to one another and have so much difference, so much variation in terms of knowledge and understanding and what we actually pick up. And it's pretty profound too, in terms of how much variation there really is in human experience, even when faced with the same external physiological things, the same external physiological items, right? It's pretty incredible. What time is it? Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna have to jump in the bath real quick. I'm not gonna be alone in the bath. I'm gonna take a bath tomorrow anyway, so I'm not gonna wash. But I'm gonna start. Like I said, I'm gonna take it to 100, 110, because like I have a feeling the mothballs played a big part in that. But if not, I want to take precautions, and of course, I want to also make sure on me. I want to make sure I'm washing it off. And I've also noticed that near midway, or like I don't know, like 50% to 75% of the day, my breath starts getting kind of rank. So I'm gonna start brushing my teeth twice a day. I can't really afford the time to do it 3 times a day like my grandmother used to, but I can definitely do it twice a day. I think that's definitely within my realm of capabilities, obviously. I got the mouthwash here too. Put that next to the tub. Turn the tub on. Oh, fudge. Oh, my back. And let's see. There's my and nose hairs are okay. Unibrows coming back a little bit, but we're not doing that tonight. The flapjacks. What did I just hear? Heard something. Oh, but that better not have been. Oh, fudge. Well, it wasn't the. Oh, thank heavens. Thank heavens. Well.
I didn't want to talk when I was near it because I didn't want any spit coming out of my mouth, even a tiny bit, because it's heat is a big part of what makes that thing function. It's like day 3. I have it on like 10%. I have to double check. I think the nozzle's at like 120. It's a brand new nozzle, so it probably would function at 100 degrees. I had it at 120. I had to change the nozzle. The old nozzle I had it like 160, but that thing was like done. This one's like a brand new one, so I could probably I probably don't need it. I probably don't need it as hot as I did, but well, maybe I do. I don't know. It seemed to be pretty just fine. I think the bed. Let me double check. I want to say no, maybe I don't. Let me see. Well, it's not the first layer, so I think I might have had it at 60, but it's at 50 now. I guess it does that automatically. And actually, I can on. I don't need the light on. Oh, does it have to have the light on? Another fan? That could be the night light, whatever. But yeah, I guess I'll let you guys go pretty soon. But yeah, it's like it's like day 3 of that print. It's only 10% printing speed, but when it prints slower, it looks better. And at the day, I don't have a whole lot of time to tinker with it. So just like printing it on and letting it go for like a week I'm okay with that. Now I want to make some gifts from some people, so I might have it like 100 to 200% speed after the first layer or two or whatever. Like after once it like clearly has like an initial layer, I might speed it up for like the gifts and stuff. And like, cause then, I can either have like a 5-day print or I can have like a print that's done in like 6 hours, right? Big difference. Like 10%, like it's 1/10, right? This is day 3 and it's not even 50%. So you got to figure it's probably going to be like 5-6 days before it's finished. And, but yeah, what would it be? It's 1/10, right? So you multiply it, right? So you figure 6 days. Oh fudge! Hold on, wait a second. 6 days would be what? What would a tenth be? That'd be. Why am I? I should know this. Wouldn't it be? 10% would be 0.1, right? So it would be what would it be 6? Oh wait, no, because there's 24 hours in a day. I'm not thinking about this correctly. Where am I? It would be 0.1, right? So 0.1 times 6 it'd be 0.6, right? So 1/6 of a day, 1/4 of a day would be 12 hours, right? So no, that'd be a half. 1/6 of a day would be 6 hours. No, 1/4 of a day. 1/4 of a day would be 6 hours. I'm too tired for this. 1/4 of a day would be 6 hours. So 1/6, I guess it would be like 4 hours. Yeah, I think that's what it would be, right? But then 0.6, that wouldn't be hours though, because I'm not calculating in hours. I'm calculating in days. So no, that would still be 0.6, wouldn't it? Oh fudge. I'm usually really good at math, but I am so tired, and my brain is going to mush. So I'll have to get the calculator out and just do it all. But yeah, 0.1 times 6 should be 0.6, and then I'm assuming that would be 0.6 of a day because that's the metric we're using. And then so yeah, it would be like it would probably be something like 4 hours. Yeah, it's probably 4 or 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours as opposed to 6 days. Big difference, but at the same time, it just looks so much better. And these are really cool pieces. And I might even print it at like 100% speed to like 200% speed, somewhere around there, to see like what is it by comparison. When you print really fast, especially with some of these more complicated prints, those little details, it ends up. I can even show you actually before I go in my bath, and then I'm gonna have to let you guys go. Let me show you real quick. So this one, I believe, was one of the faster. Actually, was it? Yeah, I believe it was one of the faster prints. You see, some of the details are a little bit. Now look. One of the slower prints, I think. Was that one of the slower prints? Oh yeah. See, you can even see the the eyelids. Yeah, a lot more detail. This one, yeah, can't really see the eyelids. It looks like I might have started at a slower print and then sped it up. It looks like it might have been with the case. That definitely needs to be cleaned up, but it is it is what it is. I'm gonna let you guys go. Take care, y'all.